ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. It's us. David's not attending tonight. Again. There was no notice that he wasn't going to be here. I'm kind of sad. But fear not. For those of you who are faithful enough to show up, for those of you faithful enough to watch, listen, or whatever it is, whatever else it is that you do, this is Nerd Sports, episode 145. I'm sitting there. I'm getting ready for tonight's show, and I'm like, man, do I really want to do a weird sport? And I'm just kind of like, do I really want to do that? No, the answer is no, I don't. So
we'll let that be David's thing.
Yeah, that'll be David's thing. Over the weekend, I read an article, and it brought me hope. I was like, oh, the clouds parted for just a few minutes. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Read an article that said that Patrice Bergeron, captain of the Boston Bruins, who retired after last season, said that he was coming back. He was going to make a comeback. And I was like, oh, and Bruins Nation went nuts, dude. And because this is the centennial season for the Boston Bruins. This is the 100th year for the franchise. Anyway, so I'm getting ready for the show tonight, and I wanted to talk about it. And I'm like, all right, this is gonna be great. Well, he gave an interview earlier today to a Canadian hockey website that said that the rumors are absolutely untrue. That he is in no way, shape, form, or fashion trying to make a comeback. And I was like, oh. Like, felt like the fat girl who got stood up for prom. Like, oh well, it is what it is, and I'm scrolling through some like other content, trying to find something relevant to talk about. And there's plenty of sports news to talk about. Obviously, with the NFL playoffs, baseball fixing to ramp back up, NASCAR's fixing to ramp back up. Also, the NHL's going in the throes of its regular season. There's plenty to talk about for sure. I saw that earlier last week? It was Friday, I think it was. Alabama conducted the nation's first execution using nitrogen gas. And Tansy on Full Stop tonight or not tonight, but a couple of nights ago, did a podcast about it. So I thought that was kind of cool because sodium pentothal, the sodium stuff that they use to stop your heart. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and there's David just now texting me, working. Like, hey Maria, what's going on? Yes, before you have a chance to ask, no, David's not here tonight. He's working. So if she drops out and goes on about her merry way, I won't take it too terribly personal. But yeah, so the sodium pentothal, the drugs that they use to kill you with are starting to become harder and harder to come by. Pfizer doesn't want to supply them because they don't want to be associated with the death penalty. I'll let that one sink in for just a minute. We're not mentioning anything specific, but its initials go by COVID vaccine. So Alabama came up with this ingenious way of just pumping nitrogen gas and doing damn fine. Just imitate. Okay, I'm imitating David now. Apparently, I don't know how I feel about that, but we're moving on. It's like the White House where
I think one of you just got insulted, but I don't know who.
It was me, apparently, because
Oh, that's
because of the sodium thing. Yeah, no, I got you. It's like my wife gives me grief all the time because I say the word Vietnamese like that. I mean, she says it some kind of other way, and
it's Vietnam.
Hey, look, I've heard it said both ways by guys who chewed that dirt. So we're 5.5 minutes into it. Fuck off.
So over the line. We need to have that on the soundboard there. And as soon as we hit 5 minutes, it said over the line.
We get that soundbite. What is it? It's like he's out of line, but he's not wrong. I'm gonna find that soundbite somewhere. But I saw an interesting article on MLB.com today. Actually, it was yesterday. It's titled "Picking 6 Teams Who Could Go from Under 500 to a World Series Title." All right, so, I mean, it's kind of like the embodiment of that Drake song. We started at the bottom, and now we hear kind of a thing, right? Now, bear in mind, Rangers 2 seasons ago had a losing record. Then they went back, then the next season they went to winning the World Series. Yeah, as in the odds-on favorite to win the World Series kind of a thing. Now, they went 68-94 2 seasons ago. Think about that. Right? 2018, the Red Sox won it all. Or no, it wasn't in 2018. It was 2013. It was, let me see here. I mean, it's not uncommon for that to happen, right? So what they highlighted 6 teams that can pull it off. Now, being the ever optimistic Red Sox fan that I am, I was very surprised to see the Red Sox on this list. Okay, so we're just going to dive into this real fast. Number 1 on the list is the Tigers. Now, this past season, they went 78-84. Okay. They're talking about guys like Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Casey Mize, Tariq Sukhbal, Mark Kahana, and Javier Baez, right? Playing for them. I mean, so they're talking about, okay, well, watch the Tigers. The only reason that the Tigers would have any kind of a breakout season and even sniff the wild card standings, is they're catching some of that Detroit Lion fever. Right, you go from the lovable losers and doormats of your perspective league.
I think that fever.
We'll get into that in just a minute. We'll get into that in just a minute. The next on the list, they've got the Giants. Now, the Giants last season went 79 and 83. For the past 2 years, going from 107 wins to 81 to 79. So the NL West, I mean, they're in that division with the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Padres. So, I mean, it's kind of I don't want to say it's a meat grinder of a division like the American League East is, but or even here lately the American League West, right? Even with even with that misnomer of what is that team? Anaheim. Yeah, the irrelevancy embodiment right there. Kind of stuck right in the middle of that division. I mean, the American League West is still tough. It's a tough route to go. So they're talking about the Giants. Number 3 on the list is the Pirates, who went 76 and 86 last year. Andrew McCutchen, he's still there. And I think he might be thinking about retirement. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it seems like Andrew McCutchen's been playing for 20 years now. I mean, because he kind of roamed around. He bounced from team to team for a couple seasons there, and he finally came back home. So, I mean, there's that.
Right.
But and they did add Aroldis Chapman to the back end of their rotation. Now, they do have an old Red Sox front office guy, Ben Cherington, there in Pittsburgh. So, we'll kind of see how that works. It just kind of seems like after Theo Epstein left and Dave Dombrowski put together that we're going to attempt to win now roster with the 3-year, $33 million roster, contract offers that just seem to be flowing like Oprah Winfrey's free gifts to her live studio audience kind of a thing.
You get a tax bill, and you get a tax bill, and everybody gets a tax bill.
That is correct. That you get mass spam emails from Pfizer because your husband can't keep his dick up, that kind of thing. Right. Well, I mean, do you blame them? I mean, their wives are going to go watch Oprah live. I mean, half the people that go to live Oprah screenings have to get, greased up with fat deposits from Oprah Winfrey's last liposuction to get through the door. I mean, come on now. Right. Like the canned hams, you get that jelly substance. The jelly substance that they pack in the canned hams. just think about that. All right, so number 4 on this list was the Red Sox, who went 78 and 84 last year. Now, they did add Luis Giolito, Tyler O'Neill, Vaughn Grissom. I mean, when they brought in their new GM, their new front office guy, right? We were promised as fans that they were gonna go full throttle, and we're thinking, great, yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And then we get the offseason that we got. If that's full throttle, he might want to think about seriously putting a security camera in his bedroom and every other room in the house, because his wife's probably fucking around on him. Right. Yeah. Of course, that being said, with that logic being employed, the full throttle by putting security cameras, it would be those really grainy security cameras that you see in bank lobbies, that the ones where it's like, hey, can you help us identify this person? And it looks like a smudged thumbprint. No, but yeah, we're taking 8K pictures of star systems light years away with the James Webb.
It's the cameras they go hunt Bigfoot with.
Right. Yeah, but but we have high definition and even more nowadays these days 4K capable trail cams.
Up to 157 pixel phones and all this. Like you can shoot movie quality videos with your iPhone or whatever, but we continue to get
exactly. Exactly.
8 megapixel grainy 35 millimeter film pictures.
Yeah. Like we can now see how small your dick really is in IMAX.
Right. We finally have the resolution.
Yeah, we have the resolution
to make it out.
And we have the software to use it.
Enhance. Enhance.
Enhance.
That's what it was. There you go.
Enhance. I mean, okay, so Giolito is going to be in that rotation with Brian Balo, Garrett Whitlock, Tanner Houck. Look, fine, great. We got us a bargain basement arm. He needs to show up and give us grade A quality talent. I mean, he needs to give us quality starts. If the Red Sox are going to have any kind of expressed or any kind of like seriously taken success, they need to show that longevity from the start. So take the inning stresses and the inning loads off of the bullpen and go at least 5 or 6 innings. Quality starts 85% of the time out. That's all you need. I mean, to be completely and perfectly honest, quality starts 85% of the time, and you will find yourself in the playoffs.
Yeah.
100%. Now, your middle to late and relief and closing talent in the bullpen, that needs to be shut down. I mean, it needs to be lights out. Okay. I mean, you need to support or at least be sporting top 3 in the lowest ERAs in the major leagues to be considered a quality bullpen anymore nowadays. So, yeah, I mean, offense will get points on the board, will get runs on the board, but pitching wins championships 100%.
Right.
Pitching will win championships. And and at the end of the day, in October and early November, depending on how long the series goes, championships are decided by whose bullpen makes the mistake first. Absolutely 100%.
Yep.
I mean, Yordan Alvarez will tell you that straight up. He absolutely murdered that baseball against Philadelphia. That baseball had a family, Yordan. And the guy that caught that home run, the one that he was sitting on top of that wall of ivy, the batter's eye, he bought that game ticket that day.
That baseball has more air miles than your average Alaskan airline door.
Fuck you, man. I was trying to take a drink of coffee.
I waited till you took a sip, too. I did that shit on purpose.
I bet you the door had more explosive exit velocity. Okay, we're gonna scale back on the dark humor because
man, that's awesome.
Number 5 on the list was the Cardinals. St. Louis went 71-91 last year. So I mean, they still have Nolan Arenado. They've got Paul Goldschmidt. They've got Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson. They've got Sonny Gray in their pitching staffs. I mean, they should have done better last year. Absolutely, 100%. But they've added, like I said, they've added Lance Lynn. They've added Kyle Gibson. They've added Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray was up there. He was the reason why Minnesota was leading that trash division, the American League Central, from beginning to end. So, they've needed that arm, especially now that Wainwright is officially retired. He's not going to be throwing the baseball anymore. We'll just see how that works. Now, you want to talk about the team that you bet on to underwhelm your expectations. The New York Mets. New York Mets last year went 75-87. Justin Verlander's gone. Max Scherzer's gone. Buck Showalter is gone. Don't get me wrong. I like Buck Showalter, but he more nowadays he's better fit as either a front office guy or an analyst on MLB Network. He's got no business being in the dugout trying to manage a game. Period. The game has passed him by, and I hate saying that. He's going to be a Hall of Fame manager for sure, but the game has passed him by. He cannot manage. He couldn't manage his way out of a wet paper bag. He just couldn't.
He would somehow find himself inside of a dry plastic one.
Yeah.
Inexplicably, and we wouldn't know how.
Yeah, I mean, and that same analogy works too. If you consider the fact that, what is it? The New York, New Jersey area per capita has probably got the most Asian massage parlors, per square mile. I mean, he couldn't manage himself into a happy ending with a very calloused hand. I'm just kind of putting that out there. He'd walk into a restaurant and be like, "Are you the woman that makes the ham sandwiches and the hand jobs?" And she's like, "Yep." He said, "Well, wash your hands and make me a sandwich." I mean, but okay. So the Mets are getting, they still have Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor. They've got Brandon Nimmo. They've got Edwin Diaz. Starling Marte is supposed to be healthy again. He's expected to be back this year. Luis Severino, who they got from the Yankees. I love seeing this guy fail. I really do. Luis Severino was the guy. It was a nationally televised game. It was on ESPN. And Luis Severino was seen going to his neck in between pitches, right? Like he was rubbing his neck. The camera zoomed in, and there's a slick spot. He's a black man.
Yep, I remember that.
He's a black man. But this was dark. It was a dark, shiny spot that was just in your regular shape. And so people up in the suites got a hold of the people in the front office. Front office called down to the bullpen. And bullpen was, they told John Farrell, they were like, "Hey, have the umpires go check that out." He had pine tar on his neck.
Yep. His skin color was going to cover it. It was shiny, guys, and you're under the lights. Like,
then there's Girardi going,
"What? What's going on, guys?"
This is why Joe Girardi is not managing in the major leagues anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. So, I would say I'd like to see the Mets do better, but
no,
they could have picked another team that was, under 500 last year to finish better.
Yeah.
A little sad news. Jimmy Williams, baseball lifer. He managed the Red Sox back in the 90s. He died today at age 80. He went 910 and 910 and 790. So 910 wins and 790 losses as a manager. He managed the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Astros. It was announced today, but as a player, he logged parts of 2 seasons in the majors, 66 and 67 with the Cardinals, getting into 14 games. The first of his 3 career hits was against Hall of Famer Juan Mercurial. So, he's got that. He came from Santa Maria, California, managed in the minor leagues from 74 to 79, coached with the Blue Jays for 6 seasons prior to Toronto promoting him to manager in 86. And then he won 86 games or more in each of his 3 full seasons in Toronto as manager. In 87, he won a career high of 96 games as a manager. Let me see here. 97, he got the chance to manage the Red Sox. and during his introductory press conference at Fenway Park, showed his folksy nature when he said, "If a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump its booty." So, I mean, he was there. He got Red Sox. The Red Sox, they're like American League wild card appearance in the postseason, both in '98 and '99. He was there for the beginning of the Nomar Garciaparra and the Pedro Martinez eras in Red Sox history. So there's that. But not a lot of baseball news going on. I do know that in less than 2 weeks, approximately 9 days, ladies and gentlemen, the sweetest sound that you will ever hear in your life will be played like a symphony across the states of Florida and Arizona. Pitchers and catchers reporting. So the crunch of cleats on concrete and the popping of a ball hitting a catcher's mitt.
I can hear it now.
Oh, man.
Sweet, sweet music to my ears.
I'm just telling you, dude. The smell of the fresh cut green grass.
Ooh, you get that
The
leather.
smell of the glove in your face, right?
Yeah. Oh.
The way that the pine tar feels on your gloves when you just Oh, dude, I'm telling you, nothing beats a good ballpark hot dog that's been steaming since April.
Right?
Oh, dude. You know, I can't wait to go to games this season.
You gotta let it age into
the highlight. I think the highlight of my season, this coming season, is actually going to take place in March, while spring training is still going on. March 9th at Minute Maid Park, the Savannah Bananas are making their Major League Park debut in their world tour.
Dude,
I got fucking tickets.
I'm so jealous.
I have 3 tickets for that game. I'm going to be sitting in the left or in the right field outfield seats, right there on the fence, dude.
That's going to be good. I am so happy that team is doing as good as it is. And I'm glad they're expanding the way that they are too. Because they definitely deserve it.
Sports Illustrated. Of course, they're having layoffs. You want to know why? I'm going to talk about a very taboo subject that's probably going to get us demonetized. Not that we're making money on this channel anyway, but here we go. See, this is what happens. You should pay attention to what happened to Bud Light. Pay attention to what happened to Target. This is what happens when you put people that identify that certain way on the cover of your swimsuit issue.
Yep.
So it's not a big mystery. We're not going to be like John Travolta from Pulp Fiction looking around going, we're not going to be doing that.
No.
We know exactly why Sports Illustrated took a hit in the pocketbook. We know exactly why they're having to lay people off. They've got nobody but themselves to blame. And I'm not going to bring any more energy than I have already expended talking about that particular subject because I'm not going to give them life on our show.
No.
Pure, plain and simple. The last time that Sports Illustrated was relevant was before they started having that fellatio fest with LeBron James. So past that, I'm good. I'm good with that. I know that's angry and it comes off as, whatever, but there we go.
They kind of earned it too, though.
Yeah. I mean, they completely and totally had that coming.
It was all their own doing.
Yeah, exactly. Now the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum is going to be this Sunday at 7:00 Eastern time from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Now, for those of you who keep up, the Coliseum in LA is traditionally it's been an Olympic field. It's been a football field. But once a year for the last 2 years, they have paved the interior of that stadium, of that Coliseum, and they've turned it into a 1/4 mile track. This is where they hold the preseason exhibition race. It used to be held at Daytona during speed weeks leading up to the Gatorade Duels and ultimately the Daytona 500 to kick off the regular season for NASCAR.
I'm not sold on the idea of them going all the way out to LA and then making their team spend the extra cash and capital to go from LA all the way back to Florida. I don't get it. You know, traditionally it's been do everything that you're going to do down there at Daytona and save the team some money, because at the end of the day, you know, I mean, you're giving people who have bought into Speed Weeks extra bang for their buck. I mean, with that being said, on the let me see here. Let's pull up. On the 15th, we've got the Gatorade Duels. Those are going to be a Thursday night affair. It's going to be it's going to start at 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be 260 lap affairs. It's going to be kind of the way that the duels work is it's kind of like an augmentation to the qualifying format that they do down there in Daytona. So the person who qualifies on the pole on time has a secured starting position. Past that, the winners of the duels start second and third respectively. So I like the duels. It gives everybody, you know, that's going to be racing in the 500 a chance to kind of, you know, cut their teeth a little bit, knock the rust off, and you know, kind of make sure that we're not watching a bunch of ARCA racers try to get out there and win the Daytona 500 and bouncing off of each other.
Right.
You're going to see that anyway, but you know,
it mitigates a lot of that.
It does. It really does. And you know, it allows teams that, you know, have made personnel changes over the offseason, you know, things like spotters, crew chiefs, and things like that, gives them time, gives them a full 60 laps, a full 150 miles of live racing action to actually kind of congeal and get some of the bugs worked out as far as their communication styles. Now, the Daytona 500 itself is going to start Sunday, February 18th. That's going to be at 1:30 in the afternoon Central Time, 2:30 Eastern. 200 laps, 500 miles. NASCAR has always done it this way, where their crown jewel event is the first points paying event of the season. It is the one race that everybody looks forward to trying to win every year.
Yep.
You know, it took us 20 years of watching Dale Earnhardt flail away at it before he finally won it back in 98. And then, you know, we were blessed enough to watch Dale Earnhardt Jr. win it twice. Yep. You know, it's funny because he was on his Twitter and Instagram accounts, and his wife, Amy, decided that it was time to clean his trophy from his 04 Daytona victory. Right. And, there was a lot of fans well, yeah, but you know, the confetti and everything, you know, I mean, the only thing that got added to that trophy was dust, right?
Right.
There was a lot of fans that were like, that thing still has red Gatorade on it. Don't clean it.
Exactly. Don't you touch it.
She shined it up. And he took pictures. He took pictures of the creases and the crevices on that trophy. And he was like, a lot of you sounded off, and she listened. The Gatorade is still there.
Nice.
So, you know, it's good to see that some things are still, you know, still sacred.
It was more of a surface brush off than it was a deep clean.
Yeah. It was more of a surface thing. So,
that's all right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We're moving along at a pretty good clip tonight. So, let me see here. All right. So over the weekend, the NFL had 2 games, and gonna kind of just throw the spoilers out there. How
you boys doing? Feeling good?
Oh, shut up. God. How you boys doing? It was a commercial for that. It was the commercial for that Masters of the Air show. You know, the pedophile Tom Hanks produced, you know, the third part of his World War II trilogy, you know, because he did Band of Brothers and the Pacific. This one's on Apple TV, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot eventually, but I'm not in a big hurry to watch it. Not saying any. I'm not trying to take anything away from the guys that flew those planes, that went on those bombing missions. You guys had big balls. I mean, it's amazing that those planes had enough lift to get them off the ground.
Right.
But spoiler, Angry Me production. We went we went 500 on our picks. I was not able to find the count. Actually, you know what? Let me see if there's one other website I can check here.
I know. So I watched from about halfway through the third quarter on to the end of the game, and I did not see her a single time. Not one single time. Which I was surprised because, they were winning. But,
Right.
thought
Let me
they would
see
be showing her a
here.
little more, but
Let me look here. To the dads, Brads, and Chads who've taken issue with the amount of time Taylor Swift's shown during the NFL games, too bad.
really,
That's CNN.com.
we don't care. She has nothing to do with the damn game.
Yeah, I honestly, you know what? And I'm going to get to that here in just a second. Now, I've got a hot take on it, and it's probably not very popular amongst the men, but just stew on that for a second. I'm looking something up here real fast. Let me see here. It did not. There's no. No, I don't want your pop-up ads. Go away. Let me see here. There's nothing about the Ravens game, about the AFC Championship game at all.
See, but just to comment on that, like I have a problem. I it's not that I have a problem. That's because I don't feel strongly enough about it to have a problem. I just don't care. Like anytime they show celebrities and hey, look, Chris Pratt is at the game. Oh, and what difference does it make? How is that affecting anything that's going on the field? How about we concentrate on, the game, which is the whole reason that we're here. I'm not here to find out that Chris Pratt was sitting in or Cole Hauser or anybody. And these, again, I really like those guys. I just don't give a shit that they're watching the game. Okay.
Let me see. She was shown no less than 6 times during the divisional game against the Bills.
We got it. We picked under.
Did we get it right?
We did. We said 15, and then we over under was 15, and we picked under. Although we did say it was probably going to be closer to 12. But the important part is we picked under.
All right, good. So we made money on that parlay.
So we made some money.
Awesome. We will take that 5 cents all day long.
It's 5 cents I didn't have before.
Exactly. All right. So the Chiefs and the Ravens, it looked like this game was going to be, kind of a runaway there for a little bit. I mean, it's because the Chiefs went out and they scored on their opening drive, and then they forced a punt from Baltimore on their first possession. And I was like, okay, all right, so this is happening. And I mean, the score ultimately was 17-10. Now, a lot of that is, yes, Travis Kelce was making some very Travis Kelce-esque type moves.
No.
You know what? I'm just going to call it for what it is. He was making some very Jason Witten-esque, plays out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're going to talk about tight ends, we're going to talk about the tight end.
Right.
Just saying.
The gold standard.
Yeah, the gold standard, But I don't know. I'm you saw Lamar Jackson, he threw 2 picks. And one of them at a very, very bad time.
That was heartbreaking.
I wanted the game to at least go to overtime, but
I wanted them to show more fight than they did. And
Travis Kelce, I think he was showing more chippiness than the entire Ravens team put together.
Yeah.
He was outside of mad shit, dude.
That was like Flowers was he came out aggressive, okay,
Yeah.
but he was just temper.
Yeah. I
There
mean,
was no discipline behind his aggressiveness.
no, I mean, and you saw he
Stupid mistake.
lacerated his finger on the bench when he punched it.
Yeah. And you don't think that had an effect?
Oh, it definitely had an effect.
You're damn right it
That's
did.
when that ball's coming in at the better part of 60 miles an hour.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm
It was-
sorry.
it was
You
dumb.
could put super glue on that cut all day long, throw a bandage on it, and have me re-glove. But the second that ball hits that fingertip,
Yep.
nope.
But then he just had stupid penalties too, like that taunting call.
Oh yeah,
It's just rookie bullshit mistakes.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
I saw a comment on Facebook. It's like, oh, that taunting for that, the NFL's getting soft. It's like, well, even back in the days where men were men and sheep were scared. If you spike the ball next to your opponent's head and then look down at them, you're going to get flagged
every time.
every stinking time. Of course, then you had like John Boy Media. He was like, "Oh, the refs are, it's the Ravens versus the refs. They're cheating." I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!"
No.
I love following that account, and I like some of his takes, but dude, a lot of the yelling and screaming that he does on his, like, even on his TikTok videos, dude. I mean, it's just for clicks, man. It's for views. It's
Right.
for clout. And I'm just like, come on, man. I get that you've got this, this nice little, media company, and the people that work for you they're knowledgeable and they're dedicated to their craft. Just take a little time and maybe, follow their cue, just show a little professionalism, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
But and then we had the Lions. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. It did. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. And
They just had to let me down one more time this year. I spent all that time talking them up. I had fully come around on them. I had admitted that I was wrong.
I mean, here's the thing.
They go and proved me right all along.
And this is the
I couldn't do
this
it.
is going to be the thing where you're going to be like, bro, what the hell? But I don't think that was the Detroit Lions playing, dude. I think that the Dallas Cowboys like mugged them, stole their uniforms, and decided to show up because they wanted to try to beat the 49ers for a change.
Like, listen, this is our last chance. Just let us try.
Yeah, I mean, CeeDee Lamb went out there, got him a touchdown at the back of the end zone. Tony Romo flew in. I mean, dude, he hauled ass from the Chiefs game just to get to the Levi Stadium on time. He was like, "Dak, you are not suiting up, bro. No, this is my time."
I mean, they did play like the Cowboys because they come out charging, and it's the first half is
then they gave up 27 unanswered points,
and then in the second half, it's just they fall asleep again. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, we're good. We're good.
But to that extent, the Lions did. I mean, they were the doormat last year.
Yep.
So to come all the way, win your division, get to the NFC Championship game, and at least have a chance of winning that game. I mean, there was a couple of opportunities there that just absolutely just broke your heart.
Yeah.
But I mean, they could have absolutely beaten the 49ers yesterday. They could have, and they could have done it convincingly.
They did beat them convincingly.
Until halftime. But
until halftime. That's what's so frustrating about it.
So we're looking at Super Bowl 58.
All they really needed was one or two more scores. It didn't even have to be a touchdown. All they needed was one or two more scores in there just to break the momentum of the Niners. Would have been more than enough.
At least, now, to be fair, the Dave Campbell's aggressive play calling style, I think, came back to bite him in the ass a little bit this year. Those fourth and short plays.
Yeah,
when you're down there on that end of the field, just kick a field goal, man. Get points out of it.
It does show a little bit of desperation.
Well, like they had that 3rd and 12, right? I mean, that's a passing play. It doesn't matter whose playbook you're running.
all day,
That's
every
a passing play all day. And
Yeah.
then they run a running play and they gash them for 20 yards. Yeah, that's balls right there.
right.
Eventually those defenses
How
are
often
gonna
are you
catch
going
on.
to get away with that?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to make those in-game adjustments, but I don't want to make the pick for the Super Bowl yet. I want to give us a full week. I mean, the game isn't until the 11th. So we've got one more show between now and then. I want us to, and if David's listening, or if David takes the time to listen before he, edits the show and puts it up online.
It doesn't even take the time to listen to a sentence before he says it.
Well, then I will text him after we get done. No Super Bowl pick this week. We are going to take the week off because I want us to, do a little bit of research. And
This is not going to be an emotional pick at all.
It's not. We're gonna do some analytical homework. I mean, we're rank amateurs here, but next week I want us to appear to be professional amateurs. So will it work out that way?
Or amateur professionals.
I'll take that too.
More
I'll take that
comfortable
too.
with that.
Yeah.
We're amateur professionals.
We're amateur professionals. All right. Let me see here.
Professional amateurs would still know what they're talking about.
Right.
We don't.
We don't at all.
I apologize. My allergies are whooping my butt, as y'all can hear.
Hey, if you hear me sniffling, dude, that's not the new tick. I mean,
to those that don't live in South Texas, this is never a good time of year to breathe.
On my TikTok page, dude, I've got like one of my first videos. I talk about how trees they reproduce by releasing pollen, right?
Bastards.
Yeah. So
right now,
everybody who suffers from hay fever and allergies, we are being systematically gang raped by the flora of this planet every year. Yes.
The mountain cedar, and then because of all the rain that we've had lately, mold.
The only thing that's missing from this picture is a black leather couch in the background. Or the 15-passenger Dodge Ram van with like signatures on the ceiling. I'm missing the middle two seats, middle two rows.
Yep.
So yeah, there's.
Why do you have cameras in here? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like.
Don't worry about that.
ATM. No, I didn't see any ATMs on the way in here. That's not what I'm talking about.
I don't have any cash. It's okay. You don't need any.
Right. All right, everybody. We have Colin. Colin again. So you'll notice, Colin, that we have you on decidedly earlier than we did last week.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we might be out of here like on time, like at a decent time this time.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be hopefully a very short and abbreviated episode. we may get done with your segment and then be like, oh, hey, so there's this. And
we might actually land the plane, but I mean, we both know it's not going to happen.
I mean, we can land the plane, but actually getting it up to the taxiway, getting it up to the terminal and having the gangway come across and actually attach. Yeah, I mean, that's a completely different animal. You ready to go, bud?
Our landings usually look more like Miracle on the Hudson, where it's like, yeah, we're on the ground, but it wasn't entirely our decision to get there. Nobody got hurt. But
yeah,
I mean, fully a win either. Like it's a win.
You get that warm, fuzzy feeling, and then you realize your captain looks an awful lot like one of Epstein's clients. So you're not too sure about it anymore. It's like, okay, All right,
Listen,
Colin.
I'm just gonna say there's a lot of different reasons why you should not be traveling with Tom Hanks.
Or Matt Damon, for that matter. The United States government has spent way too much money trying to rescue him.
That's true. Left behind.
I mean, we've even had to go off world to save him twice.
Just make sure that he's not your moving buddy, like they do in Toy Story, and you're fine, because he's gonna be the one left behind. As long as I'm with my buddy, I'm good to go.
I mean, you heard you heard what Bo Peep said to Woody when he walked in on her and Buzz, right? You've got a friend in me.
Oh God.
Okay, here we go.
I'm like
Rising from the smoke and haze of desolation comes a Ronin, bent on wrongdoing that which has been set right. And I'm out of coffee. Here for your ears and eyes to feast upon. It is my genetic code. Ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, it is time for joke time with Colin. Hey!
Hey.
Say I parried the platypus on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Did see
Yep.
that.
All right.
Dude, allergies have been kicking my butt today.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, you are definitely not suffering alone. Trust me.
Yeah. All right. What you got for us, guy?
What do you call a genocidal mass murdering girl? Big tits. Titler.
A genocidal mass murdering woman with big tits. Titler. Okay. Yeah. No, I got you. I'm tracking. All right. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Look at
I'm
that.
smelling
We
what
have
you're
5 people watching right now. Oh, we have 4. Sorry. I jinxed
at
it.
5.
We have 5. Yeah. I mean, we're getting up there. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself if we ever see like double digits.
Dude. A momentous day.
I'd be like, I don't know what to do.
We made it.
it.
We made it.
Right. There you go. All right. What else you got, Colin?
Hold on.
Will that make us eligible for a talkie? I'm assuming that's what the award would be called for podcasts.
I mean, at the very least, it'd be like a squeezer off the side of the dock. While Shorzy's in the back, taking an aqua dump.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I've still yet to watch the last season of Letterkenny too.
Oh, dude.
I just don't know if I can bring myself to do it.
Oh, I don't know.
The
Like
floor
it's-
is still yours, Colin, by the way. I'm just kind of throwing that out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I mean, if you ever feel the need to break in because, getting talked over, just say guidons, just clear the net.
It's just something out.
It's
we don't want to have any
radio
dead air.
etiquette. Yeah.
I'm trying to be somewhat semi-professional here and
Yeah.
not have dead air
Right. Because, dead air is bad.
with something, because you got to have some content.
Yeah. We don't want
Well,
David having too much to do.
How many emos does it take to screw in a light bulb?
God.
None. They're too busy hanging from the ceiling.
Oh. Wow. Oh.
That one.
That's spicy. Oh
It's
my
really
God.
good, 'cause you would think while they were up there, they'd go ahead and change it out, but no.
Well, I figure they would probably try to
This
use
entire
the rope.
generation is so damn lazy.
They were probably trying to use the rope to reach the light bulb, but couldn't figure it out. I figured the chair slipped, so.
Oh man.
One of them used the pull chain on the lamp.
The last thing he heard before the snap was a
heard the snap before the snap.
You know, and I find it hard to believe that emos can actually hang themselves because they all carry blades.
Yeah.
I've been keeping up with Has Been Hotel on Prime.
Just said, damn.
It's a good show.
Agreed.
Keeping up with what on Prime?
Has Been Hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd seen every episode 3 times at this point
Oh wow.
because I'm waiting because they have a schedule for when each episode's going to come out, so I have to wait until Thursday for the next 2.
Oh, I'll tell you what's good on Prime. Reacher season 2.
I really want to see that. I was a big fan of Reacher season 1,
and they've already announced season 3, and it's going to be based off of the one of the earlier books. So the show's going to kind of get back to its roots.
Nice.
As far as the character development's going to be concerned. Season 2 really, I enjoyed season 2. I really did. You kind of go into it with this. Colin, what are you doing? Is that you make I hear this now?
Scratch. Yeah, there's a screechy scratch.
Yeah. Keep the laptop still, bud.
I wasn't doing anything.
Ooh, yeah. So my niece, she says she loves her some Lucifer. I didn't watch all of the last season that they had when they were on Netflix. I know that they're supposed to be trying to come back and do like one more season. So, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna have to bite the bullet and just sit down and watch it. But like I feel like such a dad. When I'm sitting there, I'm constantly getting onto my kids. It's like, get up and do something. Don't play video games all day. I mean, because like I would love to sit on my ass and just play. I really would, right? Because I re-downloaded Outer Worlds and started a brand new game, and because I'm going to try to play through it again, and I'm like, all right, cool. I've got the backbone that I use with my phone and everything like that, and I might be able to get maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes of gameplay, and then I've got to get up because I got something to do, right?
Yeah.
Or I remember like, hey, I've got to get this done. Between my classwork and housework and physical therapy for my knee. I can't sit. I can't stay sat in one place. Like you saw it even during the race. I'm constantly standing up.
Yeah.
And
I've got to the point now where if I can't dedicate a good 3 or 4 hours to game, I don't even turn it on.
yeah,
It's not worth it to me to turn it off for 20 or 30
right.
minutes.
And it's one of the biggest reasons why I haven't broken down and went out and bought a PS5 yet.
Yeah.
It's because like I barely have enough time to play my Xbox.
Right.
And when my wife got me the backbone for my birthday, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be in heaven, because we went to her parents' house for Thanksgiving. I'm just chilling in their living room, just playing Starfield,
Right.
and even then it was only maybe for like 45 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I turned it on twice the whole week we were there. And I'm just kind of sitting there going, okay, and I'm supposed to be relaxing. I'm not supposed to be doing anything.
Right.
And, of course, being the good son-in-law that I am,
I was gonna say you don't want to be antisocial and
no.
not
I
socialize at
mean,
all.
I'm in the living room and, we're talking, we're conversing and things like that. But,
Right.
it's the whole, My niece just sent me a sketch. She wants to design Collins merch.
Oh yes.
So yeah, and that's another thing that's on my to-do list is to get the website up and going, get the merch store up and going, you know, but we've got to we all have to sit down as a show, and we have to like have ideas, you know, we have to have stuff to put out there. You know, because the vendor that we're going to use for our merchandise, it's going to be one of those, it can be a customized kind of a thing. We don't have to have X amount of A and then X amount of B pre-produced and just kind of sitting there taking up space and hoping that we sell it to make our money back on it. It's going to be produced when it's ordered. It's kind of like Whataburger almost.
Right.
Yeah. So
we don't make it till you order it.
Yeah, we don't make it until it's ordered. So
which is going to help tremendously.
Oh, it's going to help with the overhead a ton. But you know, we've got to get into a position where we can actually get that up and going.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, with you know, life happening with the VA hounding me about my knee, school. Yeah, I mean, right now, dude, this is the guy that graduated high school by the skin of his teeth because I'm going in the infantry. What do I need math for? I'm currently carrying a 95 in physics.
I said the same thing, and then they sent me to the mortars.
Right. Right.
What do I need math for? Here, go to the FE.
But yeah, like I'm carrying a 95 in physics. I'm like, who the hell am I? And what did I do with my other self? You know, like,
you grew up. That's what happened. It's different when you have to pay for it.
It is. It's different when you have to pay for it. And then on top of that, it's like every time I see my grades coming back, I hear my high school teachers and I hear my parents. If you would only just apply yourself. I'm like, oh, shut up. You know, like I don't want to hear that mess. So
yeah, but it's going to be worse now because now you'll go back and you'll show the transcript and they'll be like, see, if you had only applied yourself. Oh, you'll never get away from it.
You know, and this is one of the reasons why, like, you know, my wife is talking about her high school reunions are coming up and I'm like, yeah, I think mine are too, but I have zero interest in going.
I've never got any
like zero.
Like
none of them dudes, none of them people wanted to have anything to do with me when I was there. Right. Sure. Like I knew I wasn't popular per se.
Oh, God, no.
I managed to get into some of the parties because of who I was friends with. They got invited and right. I was kind of like tagging along.
You were the plus one.
Yeah, I was the plus one. Exactly. You know, but I don't know, man. And you know, it's like when I graduated airborne school and I was coming home on leave before I reported to Fort Campbell. I'm in my class A's, right? You know, I had my mom and dad stop at what used to be an Albertsons in Wichita Falls, and I went in there to get a can of dip and a pack of cigarettes. And I'm checking out, and the guy that was ringing me out was the quarterback for the varsity football team. And he was like, dude, what happened to you after graduation? You disappeared. And I'm standing there in my uniform and I'm looking. I'm like, I joined the Army. I'm like, he's like, oh, join the Army. And I was like, yeah. I just graduated airborne school. He's like, oh man, that's cool. That's cool. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
What did you do?
Happened to you? Because you know, he had a full ride. He had a scholarship. I forget for what school. He's like, oh, I decided to take a year off, man. I'm living with my mom. And I'm just like,
sure you did.
That's cool. You know, I get invited to go to a party that night, and I'm like, yeah, no. How about I just don't? You know, like I don't care. I really didn't care.
So you could have a better time in the barracks,
right? Exactly. Like you think you guys throw down? Like let's do live MP on Friday nights as they visit the infantry barracks. But you know, I don't want to pay the money. I don't want to pay the money to go to my high school reunion for the same popular people to exclude themselves and go hang out with each other again.
Yeah.
I don't really care. And on top of that,
I don't need to do it again.
One of the people that I graduated with is currently on trial for pedophilia, man. You know, so I mean, it's like,
Fantastic.
yeah, the
Well,
whole
at least
Anthony
you know
Patterson
where
thing.
you know
Yeah.
where the bar is set, though. So it's really easy to get over the bar.
It is, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, dude, I had 300 and something, like 360 people, or no, 350 something people in my graduating class.
You want to know how popular I was in my class? I graduated out of 29 people we had in my
Mhm.
class. I graduated, I think, 27th out of 29. Right.
Mhm.
So I, of course, go into the Army right directly. I gave myself a month, and then I went and shipped out to basic.
Yeah,
Came back.
I had like a month and a half.
Yeah,
So,
got
yeah.
married right as soon as I got to, almost immediately after I got to my duty station. Right. So it was a couple year out because I was still stationed at
Mhm.
Carson. Went back home a couple years later. This is again within 3 years of leaving high school. Go to eat at a restaurant with
Mhm.
my then wife. And it's a nicer place, and the waitress is a girl that was in my class. I recognized her immediately. I was like, I even remember her name. I'm not going to give it. Not that it matters. But I was like, hey, what? Nice to see you again. And she's like, okay. I was like, you don't remember me? She's like, I was like, Chris, Jacka, we graduated together a few years ago, high school, just right over there. No clue,
No,
no idea at all who I was. And
right.
out of 29 people, and we were the
29
same
people.
class all the way from 6th grade through graduation. She had no clue who I was.
Man. Yeah, okay.
Got me immediately. It's like, okay, well, thanks.
I mean,
With
all right.
that.
So back in the the days of the AOL chat rooms and the instant messenger and stuff like that, right? You would make contact with some people.
Yeah.
Like one of the girls that I went to high school with, graduated with her. She got like she got a degree in psychology or something like that, and she was a counselor living in the Nashville area. So she wasn't like too far away from me, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I reached out to her one day and I was just like, hey. She's like, oh my God. And that was it. I'm just like, okay. I tried, it is what it is.
At least you recognize you. Or at least
No, I mean, and I still had to be like, yeah, I used to hang out with so and so. And she's like, oh yeah, that's right. And I'm just sitting there going,
I gave her my
this is why, this is why. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
It's
That's
so
why I threw it back, 'cause I see how I rated.
Yeah, like
That's not fair because there's still a
don't
couple
care.
of them that I talked to.
Even if I was Mr. Popular, right? I honestly don't think that I would care because you look to see how some of those people turned out, right? And you're
Yeah.
just kind of going, you were at the top of the food chain back then. You peaked like Uncle Rico. Good Lord.
Man, if I could go back with what
I
I
could
know,
go back. I bet I could throw that football over the mountains over there.
I could rule this place, man.
You get like the popular band nerds. They set up a camcorder and they film themselves marching and then they watch it back like, all creepy, like,
You had it all. We're top of the world, man. Man, it don't get no better than this. Shit, them boys is having the time of their lives.
like I graduated high school, went to college, got me a degree. Meanwhile, people like you and me, we go get a job with our name on our shirt. Like
Yeah,
certain
I'm
things that-
good.
there are certain things that just remind you about, just take you back in time and instantly. And I'm like, You show me a picture of a 50 cal firing, and I could smell the CLP and the cordite. I could hear the sounds of brass and links.
Yes. See, there's the difference. If my platoon, if they actually put together a reunion, we had a platoon reunion, I would drop fucking everything and run. I would literally drop everything and show up for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
class reunion, I couldn't be bothered if you paid me.
No, absolutely not. You know, and it's one of those situations. And Colin, you're going to find yourself in this position too. You know,
Yep.
You're going to have that one or two friends where you're going to be like thick as thieves. You graduate high school, you're going to go off, you're going to do your thing. They're going to go off and do their thing. And you're going to find yourself in a position to where, like, years down the road, they're going to be nothing more than just oh, hey man, what's up? No, it's nice seeing you. Yeah, man, it's nice seeing you too. You know, because you're going to look at them and you're going to be like, you're going to be all like, you know, man, you got fat and bald. You know, like, present company excluded, Chris. You are.
No, I did.
No. You didn't get fat and bald. You got sculpted in a very sensual manner, sir. Thank you very much.
That's what my girlfriend.
Remember, you are the glue that holds the cohesive sexiness of the show together.
Remember, I'm the cute one.
Yeah, you're the rug that ties the whole room together, minus the pee from the Chinaman. Yeah. So,
we have got to incorporate that in somehow.
We do. You know, but
dude, I got it. We have you on one side, we have David on the other side, and in the middle, it's me laid out as a bearskin rug.
You remember the Pet Boys? You know the auto parts store Pet Boys?
Yeah.
It's got the three heads on there, right?
Right. Yeah. Yes, I see where you're going. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, dude. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we just need to get caricatures of
right.
Because nobody wants to pay the extra money for an actual photographic graphic being screen printed on what is it? Yeah, screen printed or silk screen, silk screen onto a shirt. Nobody wants to pay for that. I mean, I sure as hell don't.
I want my actual mug on there like that. Let's be honest.
I mean, if my actual mug's going to be on any kind of clothing, it's going to be. I've got it.
It's going to be.
It's going to be one of those like you order. You know, like you can order Hawaiian shirts with your face all over them, right?
Yes.
I'm going to order my wife a swimsuit with my face all over it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's just going to be me going.
Yeah, make sure the finger's there for the. Never mind.
No. There's going to be quadrants, right? You know, there's going to be the left, the right, and then there's going to be the bottom. You know, the bottom is not going to have this. You know, the bottoms are going to be like this. You know,
nope. I veto that. I veto.
You veto?
No, I'm throwing a flag on the play.
Why?
You're being overridden. You gotta have the finger guns out. You gotta make sure. Mm-hmm. You know where I'm going with this.
It's either that or the front of the bottom with just one headshot right in the middle. You know,
I don't know if that's better.
And, you know, without being too grossly explicit, considering the fact that my kid and my niece are watching, you know,
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
The bottoms would have to be like this.
That I will allow. That I will absolutely allow.
And I
Yeah,
can do my
that's
best Travis
cool.
Kelce impression for the top, where it's my face going like this.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, my niece is like, it's worse for me. Oh my god. Yeah.
Can we change the subject?
No.
Yes, we can change the subject. Okay. We've gone down a dark, deep hole. By the time we see
Really,
light,
'cause all I hear is gold. Absolutely.
by the time we
100%
come back out to ground level and get back on track, we'll have leveled up from Nerd Sports Gray to Nerd Sports White.
Fair.
I mean, none shall pass. Yeah. Which I still think Gandalf was kind of a dick. He was being a complete XP whore right there.
He was. He took all the loot, all the XP, leveled up while they were gone. Oh yeah.
I mean, they're out there grinding, doing side
Oh,
quests, and what's he doing?
Mhm.
He's grabbing all the XP, all of it.
No, the only one that was actually doing the main quest was Frodo. He was the only one doing the main quest.
And
Everybody
Frodo
else
didn't
was
get
out fucking around doing their own thing.
he didn't get the buff at all.
No, he didn't get any XP.
He got the mithril chainmail, and that was it.
Yeah, but even that was taken away from him.
It was. They just
He didn't come away with loot. He came away with a shoulder wound that never healed.
never healed, missing a finger.
No shit. Like he lost a lot on that trip. That's kind of bullshit. I mean, he got, Bag End in the end, I guess. So he got that, but he had that to begin with.
Well, I mean, he did get on the boat.
This is true.
He did get to leave. So
Yeah, and then he gave everything to Sam. So Sam's the one that made out like a bandit.
yeah, but still, though, man, Gandalf. I mean, game respects game, but I'm just kind of putting that out there.
I
mean, he brought Leroy Jenkins to the whole new level
like,
and didn't get his party killed. He was like, listen,
this is true. I mean, you got to give him respect for that. Like, if he's like, if I'm gonna, Leroy Jenkins it, well, I'm just gonna do it alone.
yeah. I mean,
And it went from 3.333 repeating, of course, to 100% all this bitch.
mm-hmm. I mean, he beat that Balrog so bad that it decided that when it came back, when it respawned, it was going to respawn in Super Mario World.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, he only got one level.
Yep.
and then a mention in the credits. I mean, you get Mario. He's in every shot of the credits, right? He's in every shot in the credits, and then you see Balrog, right? Like, you don't even see the whole thing. He's just like, I'm swimming.
Balrog playing Balrog.
Yeah,
you didn't even get that. You got Balrog playing himself.
Yeah, himself.
Just a mention in the end credits. Not even an also starring. It was just
not a special guest appearance.
Nope.
No, just
a.
I mean, it was basically it was a cameo.
Yeah. Like an almost uncredited cameo.
Yeah, it's almost an uncredited cameo. I mean, to the point where if you actually took damage or died because of Balrog on that level, you just might as well sell your Super Nintendo.
Listen, if he had a SAG card, I don't even know if he'd get paid for it.
Right? I mean, Balrog, I think, was the guy that came out. He was the biggest loser after this whole strike thing because he didn't get any extra compensation. Like,
right?
He's not even worthy of joking on at the Gamers' Choice Awards.
Ooh,
we're looking at you, Call of Duty.
That's true. Thank God for Christopher Judge.
Have you seen that Power World game?
Oh, the one that Nintendo said no, we're not going to do you anymore.
Have you seen the controversy that's coming out of it?
Yeah, there's supposed to be like a bootylicious Pokemon that like.
No. There's all these SJWs that are coming out saying that it's promoting slavery. because you're making the pals or whatever do work on your
It's on
Yeah.
Xbox. It's on Game Pass.
Heard about that.
Is it on Game Pass? Oh, I'm downloading.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm downloading it.
Oh shit, I might try it because I've been hearing nothing but other than the stupidity, I've been hearing nothing but good things.
It's because all the Pokemon fans are like, you're just making Pokemon violent.
Hello? Pokemon has already been violent.
I mean, not to get too
It's-
nerdy, but canon for Pokemon is kind of violent. Like there's
Yeah.
Pokemon that kill people.
Like,
Yeah.
some of the like
You want to talk about actual slavery? Like you're
some
trapping
of the
them.
lore that goes into Pokemon is really dark.
Yeah, right.
When you really think about it, yeah.
Like the whole Mewtwo thing is a little like that's a whole like section.
Isn't there one of the games where you can actually? I actually saw a TikTok where a guy was on one of the Pokemon games. He threw a Pokeball at a human player and captured him.
Oh, in Power World, yeah.
Like you're telling me? Oh, it was in Power World? Oh, I thought it was in.
No, you can capture humans in Power World.
That's
Oh, see, now I'm totally playing this now.
Oh yes.
So I'm gonna totally play this.
It's
Oh.
pretty good too.
Like, is it set up like Pokemon where you have to train them, level them up, and then make them battle other humans?
You just kind of throw it at you just throw the Pokemon at them, and then
I
it's
solemnly swear I am up to no good.
like you can shoot a penguin out of a rocket launcher in Power World.
Bro.
Shoot a penguin out of a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm already sold. You don't have to sell it anymore.
It's
You
hard.
You had me that you could capture players. Now I can throw penguins at them. Are you kidding me?
It's hard. I mean, I like
Why
it.
are we not funding this?
The only thing that would be better is if it was an
Instant
Elon
Game of
Musk
the Year.
production.
People are making mods to where it is Pokemon. Like all the Pokemon, all the pals are actually Pokemon.
Oh my god, I love the internet.
Yeah. Oh, I saw something.
Welcome in, everyone.
Microsoft is making is forcing Walmart to ditch all of their physical media. So, it's supposedly starting with Starfield. The move was supposed to have started this past week, but I've gone to my local Walmart and have not seen such. They're going to start reducing the price of titles, physical Xbox titles, to 3 cents, and then removing them from the store's inventory. So for a short little window, you're supposed to be able to go score games for 3 cents a piece. And I'm like, see, here's the thing:
Digital games or physical copy games?
physical copies.
Well, see, I got the one without the disk drive, so that ain't gonna help me.
Well, here's the thing: you can go purchase the physical copies. You can rock it old school just to have them, or you can take your physical copies, open them, because we all know that GameStop doesn't take unopened games. Take all the cellophane off the cases, and go trade them in for store credit.
That's true.
And I was thinking, I was like, all right, we can get some of these newer titles, reducing them down to
It's $5 to $10 total.
Well, yeah. So I mean, it's like, okay, like with Starfield, you can still, I think you get like $34 store
Damn.
credit from GameStop because it's still a new title.
Of course, I was looking at the.
Microsoft is putting some Xbox exclusives onto PS5.
Yeah, they are. And a lot of that is because Sony is just, well, they're being Sony. And
Yeah.
Well,
They're-
no, like Xbox was like, you can have these games. They're gonna have Sea of Thieves.
So they're gonna give them all 10-year-old titles.
Yeah.
yeah, basically. I mean, but they're still mass multiplayer,
Right.
lines. But it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, whenever Bethesda comes out with the next gen update for Fallout 4, is PlayStation going to get it? you know,
I doubt it.
or is it going to be one of those? Well, now we're Xbox, so
I mean, that was a driving factor of me actually buying the Xbox too, though, is that I'm a big Bethesda fan,
yeah,
and not having access to Bethesda games moving forward, aka Elder Scrolls, aka Fallout.
right.
I don't want to lose access to that. So that's
I'm
Yeah. And they're supposed to be doing a next gen update, I've heard, of Fallout New Vegas. So now, if you remember, Obsidian, who did Outer Worlds, did Fallout New Vegas.
correct.
Now, when Bethesda because I think Bethesda and Obsidian, they were kind of trading off years, like Infinity Ward and what is it, Sledgehammer?
It was
For Call
Activision.
of Duty. Yeah. So I mean, but now that Bethesda is like, no, we're just going to take the Fallout title, and that's just going to kind of be ours.
what they're doing with they're updating achievements to where it's like PlayStation, where there's different rarities
Mm-hmm.
of achievements. So like they're gonna have their own like platinum trophy kind of thing.
I do like though, the gamer score title, like when you're gaining like you can actually get value out of that gamer score, because in PlayStation it's bragging rights. You don't get shit for it.
I would like
So, okay, so the way that works, Chris, because I know that you're still newish to the whole Xbox thing. With the Game Pass, you have the daily quests, right? So you unlock certain achievements or whatever. You complete certain levels, right?
Whatever. Yeah.
You get points that you can redeem
Mhm.
towards, and they can. Then it's not your gamer score per se. You unlock these award points
Right.
that convert to like
gold or whatever.
So yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like 10,000 points. You get like a month of Gamer Pass Ultimate kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I would like to play on my Xbox more, but a lot of the like newer games are only for Series X. So it's like, well, can't do much.
Yeah, I know, and that's the one thing that Microsoft does that I don't like. They've got
Okay, well, no,
they've got all their current generation stuff, and they don't. I mean, for like the first 2 years, they do cross-platform, right? They do backward compatibility for the previous gen. But after that, they're like, no.
Well, okay, listen, Microsoft is a lot better about porting their games because, dude, I was scrolling through like looking on PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite Souls games, Bloodborne. You can only do this little dumb streaming thing.
It's gotta be the cloud streaming, and you have 20 minutes to even use it.
They ported up the game to PS5, like the Disney Pixar movie.
Mm-hmm.
Up, they ported that game to PS5, but not Bloodborne, and that really made me mad because I've been wanting to play through Bloodborne again, but I don't feel like going through the whole streaming thing.
Yeah.
No, it's just
and I will give, like, Xbox definitely has the edge in this generation in the UI, because the interface is much easier to use on the Xbox than it is on PlayStation. PlayStation annoys the shit out of me because it's not user friendly.
Xbox definitely wins when it comes to storage. Dude, I'm getting real tired of deleting games.
That too. I cannot believe that they did that switch over system where you got to actually has to be on the hard drive, the console hard drive to play.
Yeah, and it's making me so mad because I do have an external storage, but it's really making me mad when I'm having to delete a PS5 game off the console storage just so I can download another one,
just to
and
play.
you can only have like at most you can't even have 10 games
No.
that are PS5.
And then when you have games like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 that keep having these massive updates on there, you're just pushing out more and more space so that you're only going to be able to have 3 games on there, and that's
I refuse to download Call of Duty on my.
oh, it's the same. I agreed.
No, like
Saying
that.
if
That's
you're a
gonna,
Call of Duty player, though, you're going to have to make the choice. You're either a Call of Duty player full time, or you're just never going to play it at all. Like that's what it's coming down to be the option for with these.
currently, I have 5 PS5 games downloaded.
And then think about when GTA 6 comes out, how big that thing's going to be.
That dude,
It's gonna be massive.
Baldur's Gate 3. I was looking at it because I'm like, maybe in the future I'll buy this. That dude, Baldur's Gate.
I'm going to be getting
is-
it on Xbox, not on PlayStation. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's Hold on,
It's the only way I'll have room to be able to play it.
It is it's 117 gigabytes.
Mm-hmm. I think Call
Which-
of Duty is up to 160 something now, isn't it? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, dude. Warzone, when like the first Warzone,
Mhm.
that thing was over 200 gigabytes. It was insane. Like, I'm getting real tired because Sony is starting to become more for the money than the actual player itself recently, that I've noticed, and it's really starting to make me mad.
See, all right, so let me stop you there for just a second, Colin. As a parent, you understand how proud that makes me feel because I'm like, and the reason why I think that the biggest part is why you have that new point of view, that new stance on it, is you have a higher appreciation because you went out and you earned the money to buy that console yourself. You went out and earned the money to buy the games yourself. And so, you are starting to understand kind of the love-hate relationship that parents have with video games. Well, not the games themselves, but like the
Cost.
Yeah,
the
money.
cost. I mean, for the life of me, it took me years to understand where your grandparents were coming from. I mean, they went out and they bought me a game for the original Nintendo, and it took me 4 weeks to beat it, and
Mhm.
I never played it again. And they were like, "We're not." I mean, it was from that moment
I
forward.
see. I'm really bad about that because
Well, I mean, it
I
nowadays, I mean, I before I make the decision to purchase a game, even for myself, I look at it from the standpoint of replay value. Yes, I can beat this game, but is it going to be good enough for me to go back through and play more than once? And a lot of that, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm so on board with the Xbox versus the PlayStation, is the gamer points. It's the achievements. Yes, I understand that you have the trophies in Sony, but with the gamer points and everything like that, I mean, that's kind of a
There's a tangible benefit. to it.
yeah, it's a tangible thing. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, I start achievement hunting. I think last time I checked, I think my gamer score is like 74,000 something. But
mine's like 33,000. That's just because usually I don't go achievement hunting. I like to play so. I spent a good amount of money on Spider-Man 2. Like I got the Ultimate Edition, I think.
yeah,
I 100% in that thing in less than a week, and I'm like,
but now you got all those trophies you can go back for like doing certain things in the game.
well, no, I have every trophy, so
Oh, and you say 100% and you 100% and like you
yeah,
got the black.
I'm waiting for the DLC to come out, and I'm waiting for New Game Plus because when they add New Game Plus, they're probably gonna add achievement to beat it on Ultimate difficulty and a New Game Plus,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm gonna be losing my mind because the enemies alone in hard mode hit like a truck, and so like I when I'm fighting Venom at the end of the game, I'm very well may get one shot. So, yay! And because they had a new feature in the Spider-Man 2,
Mhm.
parry. And so when these enemies are coming to parry me, my first instinct, dodge. And I'm like, crap. And then they hit me and half my HP, half my health is gone. And I'm like, and in Spider-Man 2, this really pissed me off. So Spider-Man 1, you don't have to have like a full like glowing meter to heal. In Spider-Man 2, you have to have like a full gauge to heal.
Mhm.
Oh man,
And
that's
I'm
gonna
like, oh,
suck. 'Cause I sometimes the only reason I was able to survive is because I had that little sliver.
um,
Be much, but it give me enough.
which I love the Spider-Man games, I do, but the first one is still the better one.
Mm.
I've
Miles
heard that.
Morales, I did not have a problem with. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
was too
I've heard that the first one was way, way better.
Yeah.
But
See, the problem is what they did was Spider-Man PS4 was huge. Like there were so many side quests. There's so many
Mhm.
achievements. There's
Oh
everything.
yeah,
Spider-Man Miles Morales. That
Wait.
one, there's the story is like 10 times shorter. Not
it
as
was
many
a good
side
story. It's
quests.
still well written, but yeah, it was
Yeah, but
way shorter.
Spider-Man 2 they improved on because that's longer, and there was some fun stuff to do in there.
Miles
Yeah.
Morales was less than half of what the
Yeah,
of Spider-Man 1.
still too short. From my point of view, you can't start off a game that and have it be that big, and then have a sequel that a lot of people are waiting for, and then like cut it in half.
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people looked at it like that when we had Halo 3, right? And then Halo 3 ODST came out.
Right.
What happened? Bungie and Microsoft decided that they wanted to charge full price for that game. Now, that game could have done twice the sales and have been wildly more successful than it actually was had they released it as an expansion and sold it for like $25,
Right.
and I mean, you could have still sold it as a physical copy game, installed it, all that, or you could have just said, hey, this is strictly digital. Because I personally loved ODST, loved it, right? Because the characters were more vulnerable. I mean, yeah, you still had the shields and
More
everything like that, but
I,
they
that
weren't
is
as invincible as Master Chief was.
Right.
And then on top of that, you had Nathan Fillion as Buck.
my my
And Buck,
favorite.
oddly enough, became a Spartan.
Dude, not only that, you had Nathan Fillion in there, but you also had which Baldwin was it that was in Firefly with him?
Oh, Adam?
Yeah, he was also voice in there.
That's right, he was.
You had two of the Firefly guys.
We had a little Firefly reunion. Yeah,
There was actually a Firefly reference, I believe, in one of their dialogues. I can't off the top of my head remember, but I know there was a little Easter egg in there.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish Josh Whedon would pull his head out of his ass and write. Write something.
Don't-
If
Because
he
we can't get the Shepherd back because
That's-
he's dead in real life.
right, he's gone. But if he had taken the capital that he gained right after Avengers, he was as high as you could possibly get. He had all the capital that he could possibly have. He could have sold a Firefly sequel to literally anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Snapped it just because it was Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
But then all the Justice League bullshit came out, and there's all this other. Yeah, he spent all of it on all this shitty IPs that he did, and now here we are wishing that he had used it on Firefly.
Now, that being said, all is fair in love and war. We could equally, if not still justifiably, put all of the blame on Fox Studios
Oh, absolutely.
for
100%.
prematurely canceling Firefly after only a mere 14 episodes.
Releasing them out of order as well.
Oh God, yes.
How do you release your second episode before you release the pilot? I don't even. How do you even do that?
Because I wanted to see what
Well,
happened.
nobody knows what this show is about. What the hell is going on? It's
Like, I wanted to see what happened to the bounty hunter. I really did. Because he had the last line in the entire show.
Yep. I really think he would have come back.
Oh yeah. And they had some of those reunion behind the scenes things, like especially after Serenity came out.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked the cast members. You had Morena Bacana. They had Nathan Fillion. They had Alan Tudyk. They had Adam Baldwin. And they were like asking them, "Hey, look, if the show had been renewed, how would you start that, that next season?" And Nathan came out and he said, he goes, you see the inside of Serenity is kind of tore up, right? And Mal's walking through the ship, clearing the ship out and everything like that, because they had just come under attack from Reavers. And he goes to the shuttle bay where my brain just completely collapsed. What was her character's name?
River?
No, not River. She was the hooker.
The hooker? Oh, it was Inara.
Inara, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm like, I don't know why. That just anyway. So he goes and he's looking for Inara, and he sees her in her ship, right? In her shuttle, and there's dead Reavers all over the place. Right? She is beat to crap, like she is bleeding out, kind of a thing. But with those madams, right? Those ladies, their guild had implanted. It's part of the lore too. It's like they implanted something there, inside of them, that if they were to be raped, that the person raping them would have poison injected into them as they thrust. Right. So there's dead Reavers everywhere inside her shuttle, right? The better part of a dozen or more. So she had been violently raped. And Mal comes walking in and he picks her up and takes her to the sick bay, to the med bay. And the doc is there and he's helping, to patch her up. And they try to piece the ship back together and they go hunting for Reavers.
Oh, dude.
And everybody was like, because, like those were the two characters that you wanted to hook up the most.
Right. Well, supposedly there was hints that she was dying anyways.
Yes, there was. There was some kind of like mystery syringe floating around out there somewhere that had the antidote to whatever it was that she was dying from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. And like there was just so much, and there was, dude, the fan fiction alone that sprouted from Nathan Fillion's version or a vision of how he wanted the show to go.
Yeah.
Is amazing. And if you have the chance to catch any of it out there, either on Reddit or if you can find it on some kind of a website, highly suggest reading it, because dude, it is so good. So good. And I've got it's buried in I think it's in my dresser. I'll wear it next week. I've got Jane's hat.
Yes.
A hat. Man wears a hat like that, says,
he and wears a hat like that, he's got nothing to fear or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And he's like, damn right. My mom made this hat.
Cunning, don't you think?
Yeah, cunning, don't you think?
Oh,
I saw that hat. It was on it was on eBay or something. It was either Amazon. Was it Amazon or eBay? I can't remember. I think it was eBay. And the person that I bought it from knitted it themselves.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so great. It's got the ball here and it's got the ear flaps. Oh, it's great. I promise. I promise next week I will wear it. Like when the show starts next week, I'll have Jane's hat on.
That's
It's gonna be freaking awesome.
Start the show off with the his song. Jane, the man they call Jane.
Right. And for a little while, they tried to get an MMORPG going for the Serenity verse.
I remember that.
And I remember one of the promotional like commercials that they had put out there, like a teaser for it, was Nathan Fillion. And he was talking about how you could go out and you could either terraform or you could, try to make your way working jobs. And he says, as for me, I'll be working jobs. Don't care much what they are. And it showed his character in game. And then it zooms out and then you see the Serenity, bursting off.
Get chills just thinking about it. I'm getting
Everybody
chills.
went nuts. They're like, he's going to be actually playing Mal in the game. Right. And, you could find yourself a Firefly class vessel, but nobody was going to have the Serenity except Mal.
Exactly.
And I think that was going to be that was one of the things that they wrote into the code for the game was like, there's only one Serenity.
Yep.
And it, only one, Captain Mal. So, it was like, oh, he's going to be actually playing this game. And I think that it didn't get past the beta testing phase.
Yeah, I don't remember. Funding fell through or something like that.
We need to start a grassroots movement and get that going again because I would.
Yeah, which I don't understand because the support for it was there.
Yeah,
by hands down, the support for it was there. I just don't know on the back end why it fell through.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, even like what is it, like 3 or 4 years now? Like Star Trek Online has been up and running.
Yeah,
and like I pop in there every once in a while still, and I'm in command of my own Miranda class starship, the USS Fenway,
and they still run updates for it too.
Yeah, they do. And I was actually awarded by Starfleet my own Constitution class cruiser. Nice. Constitution class starship. So I've got the Fenway, what is it, NCC 1977A.
Such a nerd.
I know I'm such a nerd, but but I mean, as much as I love the Constitution class, dude, my Miranda class she is a tough little spirit, dude. Like I've gone toe to toe with several higher level Klingon battle cruisers, and I have come out as a champ, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I get where like I'm coming in, and the only time that your torpedoes work is when you're facing the enemy, right?
Right.
All of the broadsides, all the broadsides, engagements are all phaser engagements, right?
Yeah.
But I'm outmaneuvering these guys, and I'm going, and I'm pulling up on them, and I'm just throwing torpedoes at them, and I'm not really upgrading my stuff. I'm just out there just doing
it once you get to that point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you start spending some real world money to try to get upgrades, and I'm just like, I'm not about that life right now.
Yeah, I'll just grind it out bit by bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grinding it out, going on away missions and stuff like that, finding stuff, and or I link up like with like I was summoned back to Earth to talk to Admiral Janeway, and I had to meet her mirror universe counterpart, and then we had to jump through a wormhole to go to the mirror universe to steal a ship.
Nice.
And so I'm like, okay, so I mean, you get tasked out, and you have to like transfer off of your ship, for short periods of time, like little, assault strikes and things like that. And go right back
He's-
and then go out.
There were some missions early on where you had to do shuttlecraft, and there was I'm trying to remember because it's been a while, but there was a shuttlecraft and a Dyson sphere involved or something like that.
Yeah, I think I was vaguely
Dude,
remember that.
that was rough.
When I went to the Mirror Universe, I got to play around with a runabout.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And and you start seeing a lot of stuff that's that was made specifically for the online game, but it is now canon because it's made its way to the screen. Like the Enterprise F
Yeah.
was a Star Trek Online design.
Oh, I
And
didn't know.
Terry Matalas saw it and he's like, all right, and they tweaked it just a couple little here and there, and we saw it make its appearance in season 3 of Picard.
Nice.
So we're coming up on 2 hours.
I know, Colin. God, see, dude.
Are you telling us to shut up?
I was saying, I'm just saying,
planes.
You tell me.
I'm just saying, like, this is a problem. I feel
No,
like.
it's not a problem because we're actually having a conversation instead of just like mindlessly laughing. Like,
We usually do.
you know,
See, this is content. It's not a problem.
It is. It's legitimate content that we're talking about. I mean, we're fulfilling the nerd portion of the nerd sports episode.
Exactly.
And
I mean, this is
we're
half
not
of
just
what
sitting
most
there demonstrating to the public at large about the depths of our depravity. I mean,
This is exactly.
and I heard a door shut.
Mhm.
Is that your cue that you're having to fixing to get off of here?
No.
No? Oh, okay. No, we'll go ahead and land this plane. I mean, yeah, we're coming up on an hour and 50 minutes, and we're actually still kind of ahead of schedule. So, I mean, we're not even close.
We're not doing too bad.
Yeah, we're not doing bad at all. So, I mean, just kind of do your homework for the Super Bowl pick for next week. And no emotional picks. And I'll close out the show with this. Right? I said I had a hot take earlier about the whole Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing. And that it wasn't really popular with the guys. Right. Here's the thing. I'm all for it. I really am. Okay. I don't care that they show them show her on the television 15, 20 times. I don't care. Here's the thing. She has generated, I think they said somewhere in the neighborhood of $315 million of extra revenue for the league. She's bringing in all these other viewers, like female viewers that otherwise normally wouldn't watch the games.
Right.
Travis Kelce merchandise has gone through the roof. Right. At the end of the day, these people they're normal human beings. Yes, he is a freak of nature athletically, and she is a freak of nature musically. I get it.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, they could probably buy 2 teams.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you watch how they react with each other after the games. Like after the AFC Championship game, she came down to the field and he was celebrating with his teammates. He saw her out of the corner of his eye and he stopped what he was doing and went to her.
Right.
I mean, that is a great basis for a relationship. I mean, I get that I'm here and I'm in my universe. I'm in my office, basically. But if my wife comes to where I work, I'm stopping what I'm doing and I'm gonna go see her.
Right.
And they take the time out of their days to go and make that part of their lives very private. I mean, he went out and bought a brand new house in a very private area of the Kansas City, greater Kansas City area, specifically for the privacy.
Right.
He bought a huge chunk of land, put a house right in the middle of it, and said, I'm going to fence the whole thing off.
Be alone.
Yeah. I mean, because when he's at home, he wants to be at home. He wants to be able to be alone with his girlfriend.
Right.
Whether it's his girlfriend, fiance at this point, I don't know. Really none of our business.
Doesn't matter.
But as far as the whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing, hey, you know what? I'm good with it. And I think it's It's actually kind of encouraging. It's heartwarming. It's good to see that it, in the chaos of pop, of pop culture and the chaos of the high profile celebrity, that there's a degree of normalcy going on there. We see these power couples and they don't last, and it's like you can tell that it's more of a business arrangement than it is anything else.
Yeah.
But with them, there's a sense of genuine emotion.
Mhm.
Like she's excited for him, and then he goes to her shows and he makes himself seen at the end of her show, right? He doesn't bother her, and he doesn't try to get her to get him backstage or anything. To my knowledge, he buys a ticket and gets in there,
Yeah.
you know
It
and
doesn't take the spotlight away.
no, he doesn't. I mean, and
Make sure it stays there.
it's really, as far as her being shown after every catch, after every touchdown, that kind of a thing, it's really not on her. It's not her fault. I mean, it's the network.
No. And that's yeah. I don't want anybody to misunderstand my annoyance with all of that. And I know we make jokes and everything, but it's more about the cult that they're creating around her because of that. Like it's the NFL just
Yeah, I mean,
pushes,
and up
that's
until what was it when the Chiefs went to Buffalo? That was the first time Jason's wife had met her,
yeah.
and she actually gave an interview. Jason Kelsey's wife gave an interview. Said, she told Jason to act normal because they were going to go meet Taylor for the first time, and she
Yeah.
didn't want to be embarrassed. But he wanted to experience the whole Bills Mafia thing.
Yeah.
Like it was on his to-do list to go through a table, and fortunately, it never happened. He was taking shots out of bowling balls and drinking with the crowd, and then because he didn't get to go through the table, he told her, "I'm taking my shirt off and I'm jumping out this window." And she's like, "All right, okay, that's fine." The second time that she did it, she was like yelling at him, like, "You need to come back in here because people are starting to gather."
Right.
But that second time, he saw that little girl who had the Taylor Swift sign, and he picked her up and took her to the window so she could say hi to Taylor, and made that little girl's week.
Right.
Made that little girl's year.
But it's also like you said, she's and again, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan by any stretch of the imagination.
So we safely can say that we're not Swifties at all.
No. But like I said, you cannot blame her for the attention that the media is putting on her, because she has not, and to give her credit, she has not seeked it out in any way, shape, or form. She just is there. She is present for her man.
Yeah. And you want to know
the way that he is for her.
Yeah, and this is something that's very hard to find these days is a woman who can actually bring peace to a man, right?
Yeah.
You know how over the top Travis Kelce is, right? I mean, he's loud and
Big,
he's
large personality. Yeah.
Yeah, he's larger than life personality.
Right.
When they're together, he becomes very you can see he's very content at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Like he steps outside of the NFL player, and he's now just Travis, and he's there with his woman. And dude, to me, that's the biggest reason why I have zero problem with them putting with the networks and like ESPN and ABC, whatever network that the game happens to be on. I don't have a problem with them being put front and center. I mean, to a degree, yes, scale that back a little bit, give them some space, let them be normal, and let's get back to broadcasting football games.
Right.
But at the same time, you look at that and you're like, I see what happens when he's with her versus how he is when he's on the sidelines or chirping at the defenders who are trying to cover him.
Yeah.
And then like you see clips of the podcast that he and his brother have, and he's just he's still kind of over the top a little bit, but he uses his inside voice,
right?
Versus the look on his face, like just his demeanor completely changes when she's around.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about like in the building. I'm talking about like within feet of each other and
When
then ultimately
yeah,
embracing each other.
like they're actually in their presence.
Yeah. And it's, dude, it's so great. And it's like, the one thing that like I hope for my kids and, I hope for my friends, you, David, is that you find that one person who can be the peace in your storm. And I think that ultimately at the end of the day, that's what she is for him.
I genuinely think I have.
And that's, dude, that's great.
And it's
You know?
it's an amazing feeling when you
Yeah.
actually
So, I mean, you can, so there, but by that alone, you can completely understand where it is that I'm coming from.
exactly.
And so, I mean, the fact that he may not come out and say it, but you can see it because we understand what it looks like. That
Right.
when he's in her presence, he completely changes. He's I just happen to play football, but I have this really amazing woman. And I
Yeah.
really hope that that relationship lasts. I hope that it works. I hope that she takes time off from touring to pop out a couple of, little baby Kelseys, I mean, who knows? But
They're
yeah,
guilty.
that's
They're gonna be little, trust me.
right.
That bloodline is strong.
Dude, poor Taylor.
Feel
I
sorry
mean,
for her.
knowing Taylor, I mean, knowing the Kelseys the way that America knows the Kelseys, I mean, they're not gonna come out and be Travis's. They're gonna come out and be Jason's.
Hard.
So
Yeah, she better schedule the C-sections now.
yeah, right. I mean,
I said she's
C-sections and a personal trainer, just have them on speed dial.
hippie
But
is not
but yeah,
good.
that was my take, and I wanted to give that take earlier, but I think that that's kind of a good note to end the show on. Something kind of
Yeah.
warm, fuzzy, and hey, look, I mean, yeah, they're flaming assholes on this show, but they have a heart. So,
Sometimes.
yeah, sometimes,
Sure says. Occasionally we're adults.
yeah, occasionally, adults, that's right. We're, we're mostly peaceful.
Mostly.
Mostly.
I cannot, dude. I'm losing my mind. I cannot find that shirt.
Mostly peaceful?
Yeah,
I'll find it. I think it's a grunt style shirt.
no, it's a
Is it
Black
a black rifle shirt? That's
yeah.
right. It is a black rifle shirt. Oh, dude, good luck with that because you're gonna have to find it secondhand. I mean, I'm still waiting on my parrot camo shirt to come in.
No, like I have it, but I gotta find it somewhere in my dresser.
Do I still have that?
Yes, you do.
I gotta dig through and see if I can find something.
All right. Well, we're going to land this plane. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us for the last 2 hours. This has been Nerd Sports 145. I'm Johnny Skelton.
I am Chris Jacka.
Colin's gun.
And you have been privy to yet another. Oh, you know what I did? God, I pulled a David. Damn it. I didn't play Colin's outro.
You didn't, because we went immediately into nerd stuff.
I did. Do we want to hear the outro? Show of hands. Okay, it's unanimous.
Thanks for making.
Gone without regard for your moral well-being. You have been witness to yet another traumatic episode of my genetic code assaulting your soul without consent. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages, this has been Joke Time with Colin.
We need to get that like animated, and then it's like
And this has been Nerd Sports.
Cesar me timbers. Waiting for the end of the stream. There we go. Caca.